we have a few in the room as well, so it might take some time before we get to you guys. So, show of hands, and then tell us where you're from, and go ahead and ask Shai whatever you want to ask him about the series.
Nice and specific.
Specific. Let's go.
Hi Shane, Sam from Sky Sports. The team against Ireland, you scored the second highest one-day international total ever for the West Indies. You can't be coming into this game against England in a better position, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I think the progression that we've shown over the last couple of months as a team, especially as a batting unit, is great signs. But fresh start, obviously a different series, different opposition. So we're going to take that as a confidence builder, yes, but we still got to assess what's happening here. But we're going to certainly learn from the experience that we had in Ireland.
I know against Ireland, you talked as well about the ranking, how important it was to get these points to go up the rankings and beginning of the 2027 World Cup as well. How hard is it having to juggle that extra weight and that extra pressure versus the actual match you're playing at the time?
I think the more you think about what's in front of you, it kind of calms the nerves. Not too much expectations that you want to put at the back of your mind. Yes, it's the main goal, but you got to really focus on what's in front of you. You can't get to 2027 without ticking each box at a time. So it's important for us to focus on the opposition right there and then continue building and building until we do get to 2027.
And England have a new captain for the white ball team, Harry Brook. Is this a good time, do you think, to be playing them?
I wouldn't say it's a good or bad time. Regardless of who's playing, we got to make sure we play our cricket. Can't necessarily focus too much on the opposition and what they have going on behind the scenes. But I think it's an opportunity for them as well. I don't think they've been as successful as they would like to be over the last couple of games. So they're certainly going to be coming guns blazing at us, and we understand that and we expect that. But like I said before, we're not necessarily focusing too much on them and what they've got going on behind the scenes. We just want to make sure we stay within and tick all the boxes we need to tick to win this series.
Okay, so you focused on your team, but Jamie Smith's going to be opening the batting with Ben Duckett. He's only got 10 one-day internationals behind him. Lots of talk around his talent, but is he a player therefore you might be able to target at all?
Yes and no. It's international cricket. Everyone has the ability to play at this level, and they've shown it over the years. They've shown it in different formats as well. So we plan for each and every person, not necessarily one particular player, and we know how dangerous anyone can be on their day. So we got to ensure that we're on top of them, we're on top of the plans, and make sure we execute when the time comes.
Just one final one, if I may. Quite a lot of celebration almost from other nations, seeing how badly England have been doing recently. Maybe they're being a bit arrogant in talking about how they want to play. Does that give your side any motivation? Can you understand where those kind of attitudes have come from towards the England team?
They've shown that they actually changed the way white ball cricket has played, and they've set a standard, a pretty high standard over the last few years. And as a opposition coming in to play against them, you certainly want to showcase your best skills, because they kind of set, as I said, they kind of set the benchmark of ODI cricket. But again, I'm not going to focus too much on what they've done in the past. I know they're going to be looking at us as trying to start their new winning streak, but obviously it's been in our power to make sure that we don't let that happen. We start the series well, and then hopefully we can get a nice series win here as well.
Thank you.
Hi, Shai. England and cricket and West Indies, there's always a fair bit of crossover in history there. I'm just wondering about Jacob Bethel. He's making a comeback pretty much for England in this game. I'm just wondering if you came up against him back in the day in Barbados, and what you make of him as a player, and any kind of stories there?
Well, I saw him, I think it was at Weymouth Ground in Barbados, called it Police Ground. I think that was during his under 15 stint. It was a long time ago. I know I'm not that old, but it was a long time ago. And he always looked like a quality player then. Seen what he's done over the last couple of months internationally, franchise cricket as well, and he's certainly a formidable talent. I think he's one of those players who can go a very long way in his career. But yeah, the plan is to come up against him. Every time I play against him, every time I see him, yes, he's not necessarily full-on Bajan, but it's great to be around him. It gives me a sense of home as well. But I'm happy for him, seeing the success he's had, but we're enemies this time.
Shai, just one for me really. Sell-out crowd tomorrow. How much do you enjoy playing here in front of a big crowd at Edgbaston?
I love it personally. I love seeing all the fans coming out and supporting the game of cricket, and it does something for me. The more people that come out and we play in front of, just gives that a nice boost. And like your colleague said, there's a lot of history between West Indies and England. And anytime a series we're playing, we just see the noise, whether it's coming from our own home fans, West Indians, and then you got the English crowd who's always backing your guys. So it's going to be something to look forward to, and I'm certainly looking forward to it tomorrow.
Any other questions from in the room? No? All right. Philip Spooner is online. You can go and ask the question, Philip. We have only another 5 minutes before training.
Okay. year. And coming in from Barbados, you mentioned about the history of England and West Indies and the crowd. Apparently, quite a few of the games are also sold out as well. So what does that mean? What does that tell you about the attraction, not only of the England team but the West Indies team? It would give the impression that West Indies still a crowd puller, and I'm sure that's something that you really would be happy about.
Yeah, for sure. I think as much as our fans love to bash us every now and again, I think they still come out and support, regardless if we're doing well, if we're doing poorly. I just think they just come out in numbers. They just love the game of cricket. So not necessarily if we're on the ascendancy or not, but I think we are. You know, we've showcased our progression consistently, I would say, for the last couple of months, and I think that would obviously help and pull more crowds. And as long as we continue playing that style and that brand of cricket, I think it's going to attract even more and more fans over the next couple of months.
This year is the 50th anniversary of the first ever World Cup win. 1975 when Clive Lloyd's team did it. Would it be a bit of a icing on the cake, cherry on top, to beat England in the 50th year of winning the World Cup? Is there any significance in your dressing room to that, or is you're just happy to be part of a legacy?
Happy to be part of the legacy, yes, but it's not forefront of our minds. Certainly, every series, every game is important for us, and it just so happens that it matches that same 50th anniversary. Yes, it will be a great achievement for us to continue that legacy that West Indies have started over the last, from the start when we really dominated that format. So it'll be a great thing to continue, and hopefully we can start this series well tomorrow and then get another series win.
Thank you very much.
Right, thank you, Philip. Only one more hand raised, and that's from Ian Wason. You can go, Ian. 2 questions, please. Maximum.
No problem. Good morning, and I apologize for being on a vehicle. Interruption was brought forward, so I was caught in transit. So, heading into the series against England, in Ireland, the openers, Evan Lewis and Brandon King didn't fire. But we know what they can do. We know what they can all do at any given day. How are they looking in the practice? How are they looking in the lesson? How, as a captain, do you keep them encouraged?
It's very important to bank on previous, success. Like you said, they've shown how capable they are to perform at this level. And I think playing at international level, the biggest thing for me is confidence. And as a batter, as long as you have the confidence, regardless the runs are coming or not, it's only a matter of time before that big score comes. And they are 2-class players, quality players. And I think, it's a blessing in disguise in a sense where they'll be even more hungry for this series, not having that big spark in Ireland. So if they can click, along with the middle order who's been scoring runs for the last couple of months, I think we're going to be a very, very, very good batting lineup.
And before I continue, this is Ian Wason from CNC Trinidad. Sorry about that. As you mentioned, the batting lineup, you have yourself, Shipin Waterford, who's not there right now, and Keith Pranty, who are averaging in the high 40s or even more than 50. And now we have what we see Matthew Ford coming up, who can give Romario Shepherd a run for that all-rounder spot. When you look at the batting of the West Indies team, how much will that give you confidence that we can compete and even punch above our weight?
Certainly, we're doing more than competing. I think when you look at the data over the last year or so, we've been matching statistics of the top 4 batting teams. And like I said previously, there's so many things that we can commend the boys over the last few series and last few months. And the batting has been a big standout for me personally. And it's great to see the boys are chipping it in and always finding ways to improve their game to be at that elite standard that we ask for in international cricket. So it's just a stepping stone. So we just got to keep improving in every single area as best as we can, and then have that complete team and performances more consistently over the next few years.
Thank you, Ian. No other questions from the room?
Thank you.
Good.
All right, and that's the end of the engagement. See you guys at
Cheers,
the end
guys.
of the ODI tomorrow.
Thank you.
Not too much banging, right?
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
Really appreciate that. He's good at that. Yeah. Sorry for late beering.
He's good with constitution.
Absolutely, yeah. So yeah, whatever's good for